Hello and welcome to the Blackout podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. I'm so excited for this one. I have like artists and you even paint. I didn't even freaking know that.
I didn't even expect that I was going to be doing that. That was so spontaneous and inspiring. I've been drawing my whole life and painting my whole life, but nobody knew.
Oh my God. Anyway, poet, spoken word activist, my friend Dana. Thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So like I'm at Unplugged Mondays, and this person comes out and says the most, like, it's so vulnerable and so raw. First off, where do you get the bravery to share something so personal?
Let me tell you the story. So I was invited to come to Unplugged to see one of my friends perform. And I already write poetry, and I keep my little brown book with me everywhere. I found it very healing, and my way of like just whenever things get too hard, I just write. And it's been very therapeutic for me. So when I was there, one of my other friends was like, Dana, do you write poetry? And I was like, a little bit. And then Sasha kept looking at me, and she was like, this is a place where everyone is going to come up eventually. And I was like, oh, great. And so my friends were like, no, Dana, like, you should go up. Like, you should go. And I was like, okay, can I swear?
Yes.
I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna go up. And I did. And it was really like healing, and such a nice and safe environment, and such a safe space where I felt comfortable enough to do so as well. And yeah, I was getting all those snaps and stuff, and I was like, okay, well, this is nice. Like my stuff is good. It was very validating as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful.
That's where the courage came.
That was wonderful.
Peer pressure is where the courage came.
No, thanks for sharing that. But like, okay, so let's rewind then, because you say you always had this little brown book. Why did you start writing in it?
Oof. Might sound a little dark, but you know, when sometimes you feel like you just don't want to put your problems on other people, and sometimes you feel like you have no one to really talk to. I found that in writing. So instead of like oversharing, and I've always been someone that's really hard for me to like open up 100% because sometimes I'm afraid people are going to use that information against me, because it's happened so much, especially here in Halifax. So I found that comfort in writing. Yeah. Especially because no one gets to see, and no one gets to know your thoughts.
And the other thing I think for me is that you actually handwrite it. I'm not seeing your handwriting, so I don't know what it's
My
like.
handwriting is so bad. If you guys ever see me at Unplugged, I'm like wait, the lighting, and then sometimes you have like special lighting, and then my pages are see-through, and then like my handwriting is even worse, and I just can barely read it. I can barely read my own handwriting.
Okay. So I wasn't sure what your handwriting looked like, but you said it isn't as eligible. So how like, isn't it easier to like type on your phone versus write in your journal?
I feel like it's more personal to handwrite things. Although I always like use my laptop and my phone for things, but when it comes to writing, I do prefer it to be from the hand. And that's also like where like everything comes from. Like it just flows, but like when you're typing, it feels like I'm texting somebody. I feel like, and when I'm writing on my laptop, it feels more as like I'm doing work. Yeah. I don't want it to feel like work. I want it to feel like art.
Okay. And then, do you have a process when it comes to your writing at all?
Honestly, not really.
No.
It's always stemming from something that occurs in the moment. It's never, whenever I write, it's never something made up. It's always based on something real. So it's based on like how I feel in the moment or how I'm feeling about a certain situation, something I remember, and then it flows. But obviously, to make it sound good and look good, I'll, bring up a dictionary, and like think about synonyms for this and synonyms for that. And that's, yeah, the gist of it.
Gosh, done. And then how do you know it's done?
How do I know it's done?
Yeah.
When it feels good to me.
Oh, okay. What decides that?
My intuition.
Oh, okay. And then and when do you decide that you want to share it? Like it's done, but when do you decide? Because sometimes, especially unplugged, it's like, I mean, you have this big book, right? How do you decide which one you're going to share?
Depending on, I want to say, how I feel in the moment and the audience. So there's definitely poems and things I've written that I don't think I'd ever share. So things that are too personal.
Yeah.
But when it's things about, I feel that is a common or mutual pain or mutual suffering or mutual like understanding as well. Like I can see, okay, so everyone here is a person of color. I'm not alone. I feel like this poem would speak to a lot of people. So I'll read that one.
Yeah, so I was sharing this song. Actually, I've not sent you the song yet. I'll send you the song, but the song is called Olives, and this is really great. Like, ever since I've heard that song, whenever I play, it's in my set. It's a really good song. But then, Instagram is good. Like
Every time you listen to the song, it reminds you of me.
but like, yeah, so anyway, so I didn't know what the song was about. It's like a beautiful song, and the song is that, like the roots remember the story of how they never could put us down.
Absolutely.
Death couldn't hold us down. We are more than conquerors. Like, it's such a powerful song, but it's
God,
also
send it to me.
Yeah,
right
I will.
now.
But it's also like really, really danceable. So I reached out to the artist and I was like, I love this song, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what is the song about? Right? Because like, fuck, I don't know shit about olives. And it was like, yeah, it's about what's happening like in Palestine. And
Absolutely. There we go.
yeah. And it was like, and I was like, oh, so when you put the
When I
olives
posted
thing,
about that, yeah.
I was like, holy shit, so like, yeah.
So the post that I posted is actually from a very famous Palestinian poet who kind of, I want to say, paved a big way in Palestinian art and Palestinian resistance. His story is that he was writing and then he fell in love with the oppressor, but he didn't know that she was on the other side. She thought that he thought that she was also Palestinian. And it was like he said that I got betrayed twice from in his land and also in his relationship. So his poems have been such a big staple. Like I even have like a necklace. I'm not wearing it today, but I even have a necklace of like one of his quotes and from one of his poetry. And I want to say that he's such a big inspiration to me as well, and to so many people, so many non-Palestinians as well, so many Westerners as well. Like his books are even at like Indigo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His name is Mahmoud Darwish, and he's genuinely a legend. So that quote was from him as well. So I think it was if the olive trees knew whose hands planted them, its oil would become tears.
Or something. Like, yeah, I was like, okay, I promise you, once we're done recording, I'll send a song. Like this song, actually, I'll play it for you. Cause I have my setup right
Done.
there.
Bet.
Yeah.
Play
Like
it
and like it's a dope song too. So and then I was like, I guess what is activism is something that's really, really important to you. So it's like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to say it's in my blood. My grandfather was a freedom fighter back in the 1940s in Palestine, Jerusalem. So he married my grandmother and was with the resistance, and then had two options: to stay in Palestine and get killed or to flee. And he took my grandma and fled to Jordan, then to Kuwait. And yeah, so I grew up most of my life in Kuwait. And most Palestinians actually have a similar story of growing up in the Gulf, like in Kuwait specifically. Because Kuwait and Jordan were like one of the only two countries that really gave us like a home when we didn't have a home. So eternally grateful for that. So why does the question was why does activism mean a lot to me? Because I always say that at the end of the day, no matter how much I do, it'll never compare to what my people over there are going through.
Right.
So I try as much as I can to do my part, even if it means that I am getting death threats and I am being put on the spot, and I'm having my community and other communities say whatever they want to say about me, and I am on the spotlight, and everyone in Halifax knows me, even though I don't know them. And it's fine. But at the end of the day, to me, that doesn't matter. What matters is at least I know in my good conscience that I am doing as much as I can for my people, because they're suffering, they're dying. Who am I to complain? Who am I to say that, oh, like, ugh, it's so hard? No, it's not. What they're going through is hard. And I try to remind myself of that. And I, most importantly, just want people to know what Palestine is. And I think that we've achieved that. I'll tell you a little story.
Please.
I was 17 years old when I first started. And it was during the time where literally I went to high school here and not a single person knew what Palestine was. They were like, oh, like, what's that? Or, oh, you mean Israel? Or, oh, Pakistan? I'm like, no, Palestine. Hello, where Jesus is born. Like, how do you not know Palestine? And it was such a culture shock for me because I just came from the Middle East. And so it was during COVID time, lockdown, and there was a lot of bombings happening in Gaza. And a place in Jerusalem was being annexed. So that was all over social media at the time in 2021. And I saw that things were happening in Toronto, things were happening in Vancouver, things were happening everywhere but Halifax. I was like, okay, I'm done. Let's do something. So I reached out to a couple organizations and I was like, hey, let's do a car rally. Let's follow my car. Let's do this, let's do that. And they were on board. So we did it based on, we had bubbles at the time, remember? So we couldn't like have an actual rally. So it had to be like in our cars, everyone's isolated, everyone's like in their bubbles. And if you're not in your bubble, you get a fine, a very big fine. So we did it. We didn't expect how many people were gonna show up. We actually closed all the bus routes in downtown Halifax for a couple hours. But what went wrong was the police were actually on board at the beginning, and then they changed their minds when they saw how many cars showed up because they didn't expect it. And me being 17-year-old naive Dana thinking that the police were just going to be like, okay, whatever. No. They started giving illegal fines and illegal tickets. And I was like, great. And the whole community was attacking me because it was unorganized organizing. But how can I make it organized when the police messed up the routes? So all the cars actually got dispersed in downtown instead of following a certain route, which was supposed to be my car. But it worked in our favor because everyone got so dispersed. It was Palestine flags all over downtown. The bus routes ended up having to be closed. Everyone was talking about it for weeks. And then that's when the name Palestine actually got mentioned more and more in Halifax, I want to say. That's when I went to work and I said, did you hear about what happened downtown? They're like, yeah, there was a Palestine rally. And I was like, absolutely. It was me, but no one knew. Okay. So that was the start of it. And then I met some friends and then I got more involved. So I never really did much organizing. I was always just invited to speak. And yeah, that's why doing Unplugged was very new for me because I never read anything that was about me.
Right.
It was always about Palestine.
But I mean, when you think about it, like, isn't talking about Palestine kind of talking about yourself?
Yeah. I want to say that.
Yeah, because, especially
You're
when you
making
share
me all
that,
emotional.
when you share that story about your grandfather, but, thanks for sharing that. Okay, so let's talk about your art. Because, I'm seeing who is this person? Who is this person? What? What is the story
How do you
here?
know? Okay, let me tell you the story. My whole life I've been drawing. My whole life. Ever since I want to say, 8 years old, I had a sketchbook in my hands. But I never thought... What the hard part about growing up without social media is not realizing that art can be a career.
Oh.
Thinking that you had to do something very, very traditional in order to make a life for money.
Right.
And I didn't think that I was ever good enough to make it into something real. And of course, surroundings didn't help because, when you're Middle Eastern, you don't grow up thinking that, oh no, like you should pursue art. No, it's more like, you should be a doctor. You should go to university. You should do this and you should do that. So that's like the path I led, and I kind of abandoned that part of me and always drew when I was as an outlet. Until one of my best friends saw my sketchbook in my car, and she was like, Dana, what the hell? You have depth. And I was like, what do you mean I have depth? She was like, no, Dana, you always portray yourself as a very fun and bubbly, charismatic person, but nobody knows that you have all these artistic sides to you. And for me, my sketchbook is so personal. Like, I don't share that stuff. She was like, no, you have to put them out in the world. And I was like, I don't know. Until there was that art showcase, and Fatu, she's amazing. She told me, no, like, you should definitely sell your art, sell your poetry, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. Let me do it. And I did it. And I went and I printed and I edited it and I scanned them and I did everything, and I actually sold. And people were really surprised and that I was good, and I was surprised that I was good, and I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah,
actually.
it's actually fucking good work. Like, I was like, who is this person? So, do you still draw at all, or like, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
What was the last thing you drew?
Oh, it was actually a Palestinian resistance fighter. That's the last thing I drew, and all of the prints from that event actually were not old. They're quite recent. They were hidden away, and now I'm ready, I think, to put things out there.
So I guess I'm seeing a trend here. It's like you need just a little bit of push to do the thing.
I think so. But I don't think I want to be like that anymore.
Okay.
I think I am recognizing more that no, actually I am good enough, and I do want to do things and just get going and get started. Yeah.
Like there's this one you did a unplugged that talked about something about skin. I can't remember it, but it was like something about something about skin and being white.
They love
Yeah.
they love my skin in the summer, but they hate it in airports.
Yeah. Anyway, like, how do you, I guess, navigate those spaces? Because, you are like Middle Eastern, but you are like very North American at the same time. You know what I mean? You know?
Just call me whitewashed. I'm just kidding.
No, so, yeah.
Honestly, it's quite difficult because you feel like, especially honestly being diaspora Palestinian too, you feel like you don't really belong anywhere. Like I don't belong in anywhere else in the Middle East because I'm not from those places. I'm Palestinian. I can't go to Palestine. I can't live there. I lived my whole life in Kuwait and in Halifax. I look different, so I don't fit in to the Western norms. And I don't fit in much in the Arab communities either because I'm so vocal and because I'm so different as well in many aspects. I'm not a very traditional like Muslim girl where it's like I stay at home and I like I post on social media and I put myself out there and I go out and I have fun and I do whatever I want to do. And that also scares a lot of people and it intimidates a lot of people. And there's a lot of judgment in those communities. So yeah, it's difficult finding like where you really belong and finding your people, which is why I feel like maybe I did need those nudges, because it's always been like a struggle for me to feel like, okay, where am I and who do I fit in with and why am I so different than everybody else? And it's like, where are my people? Where are the people who are like me? So it's definitely something I'm navigating through and come to terms with. Come to terms with the fact that, you know what, being different is okay. And fuck yeah, like.
No, I agree with you, but while you're saying that, another idea came to mind. Like, does your writing help at all?
Yeah. The writing definitely helps. Especially, I'm so thankful to Sasha for Unplugged because I didn't realize how much I felt like I could belong in a space where nobody looked like me. But we all, I felt like we all shared that same feeling, that same struggle, that same, it was just so beautiful. Like I told her the first day, I said, what a beautiful BIPOC inclusive space that I can't even find in my own community, where I feel like I can share things and not feel judged is such a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, no, she knows how to hold space. Okay.
100%.
I usually say, this is a question I love asking my guests, you know, as the last one, but I think you've kind of answered it, but I'll ask anyway. What's something that happened to you before you were 17 that played a huge role in who you are today?
Before I was 17.
Because the activism, the rally was at 17, so that doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Damn it. Okay. I want to say the big one was moving from Kuwait, where I lived my whole life there, to Halifax for high school, looking different, being different, in a predominantly white school as well in Bedford, and teachers did not help. Teachers were actually kind of like the same as the students.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember one instance in class where there was two. I was the second hijabi girl, and there was another hijabi girl, and he kept calling me by her name.
Oh boy.
And everyone in class used to like stare, and I used to be like, okay, come on now. and he would like purposely, I feel like, pick on me specifically. He'd be like, girl in headscarf, girl in, and I'm like, you're my teacher. Like you're 60 years old. Come on now. You're not supposed to be doing that. And it was really shocking to me because in the Middle East, it's not like I grew up in an Arabic school. I grew up in a British system. So all my teachers were also, they weren't Arab, you know, they were white. And I never experienced that with them. I didn't know really. I didn't know how different things would be. I didn't realize that people went to school and had their phones on them all the time and were able, I came from a uniform, like everyone looks the same, everyone's dressing the same to school. It was really rough, especially making friends at the beginning. I find it not hard at all to make friends, by the way. I'm very, very social. But when I was 15, coming to a new country, didn't know anybody, and you see like everyone in high school has their own cliques because they've all grown up together since they were kids. And it was like, wow, like how am I supposed to put myself out there? How am I supposed to talk? Especially because I was a little ugly in high school, by the way. I was a little,
I don't think so.
No, I was a little ugly in high school.
No, man.
Believe me, I was. Believe me. So it was like, how am I supposed to like do that? It was really hard. And then the friends that I did make, they were terrible. That put me in a depression for a while.
Oh no.
So in grade 11, grade 12, I made friends with these girls like they were like in my community, but they weren't Palestinian. I was like, finally people like who are kind of like me, who are like growing up here, blah, blah, blah. And I was really nice to them. I would give them gifts and I would do this and I would do that. And like when you're a young little teenager, you're trying to do anything really to just, you know,
Be part of the thing.
Yeah, just, you know, and I was the one that like brought friends together, and that's still my role today. Like I bring people together. I like my friends and knowing my other friends, and we're all just like a fun little family. So I did that, and then she kind of like switched on me and did like a fake group chat on Instagram, this girl drama, and like sent like death threats and
Wow.
and tried to get like people who were talking to me to stop talking to me, and lied to the principal, said that I shoved her down the stairs. And so I went to the principal's office, and he didn't believe me because I have such a, she's very shy, and I have such a like strong personality. So obviously, like you put two and two together, okay, this shy little innocent girl versus, you know, like who am I gonna believe? Obviously the girl that said she got pushed down the stairs. So but I still blame him, and I got really angry. I was like, okay, but I could have crocodile tears right now. I could fake it. Why choose her over me? Why? There's no evidence to prove that I shoved this girl down the stairs. You know, why am I in the principal's office? It was hard, because I was so popular too in Kuwait, like in my school there, and I knew everybody, and all the teachers loved me. And then it's not the same at all here.
Right,
It's not. It's really not.
Right.
There's no personal, like the teachers are too tired and they're too burnt out to make those personal relationships with their students, and the students are all on. I didn't even know that, like, it was such a culture shock. Wow, all the students are like 15 and they're all drunk and they're like doing drugs, and it was like so shocking for me. I was such an innocent little innocent girl. Now I work with youth, so
Right.
yeah. So yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that would change. That would, that
hard.
would play. Okay, so you share a lot of magic when you share your spoken word unplugged, and I thought I should let you go with a little bit of magic of mine.
Oh.
So you need to write a number between 1 and 60, just one number.
1 and 60 or 60?
1 and 60.
Okay.
Once you're done, show it to either camera. I will look away, but my magic cards will tell me what your number is.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know once you're done.
Okay.
Okay, have you shown it? All right, I'm all good. Okay, so your number is going to be in at least one of these cards, but it might be more than one. Okay?
Are you a whole magician?
I'm going to blow your mind now.
You're the one with all the secret talent.
So, you are gonna help me, right?
Right.
Your number is gonna be in at least one card, but it might be more than one. Okay? So, is the number in this card?
No.
No. Is it here?
No.
Is it here?
No.
Oh wow. Okay. Is it here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it here?
No.
Is it here?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Is it 10?
Yes. What the hell? How'd you know? How'd you know?
It's magic.
Now you saw my card.
I didn't
There's
see
like a
it.
reflection on that camera. I know you saw that
It's no
card.
reflection. I
Sorcery?
can't wait for the next season of Unplugged because I can't wait to hear whatever it is you're going to write and share. But I'm not going to let you go
I'm
without
good. I could sit talking all day.
without at least sharing some tiny piece. You okay to do that?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
I
Okay.
wish I brought my book with me. The one time I don't have it. I often wonder how you're doing. If your smile still breaks the same. If you still reach for comfort in the rituals that never change. Do you play your favorite game at night, lose track of time the way that you did? I wonder if your eyes still glisten when music finds your chest, or if certain songs still ruin you. I wonder if the dark still visits, if sleep avoids you like it did me, if nightmares still say your name, or if they learn to set you free. I wonder if the silence holds you, if the night treats you with care, if someone else knows the shape of you when you're too tired to repair. I often wonder how you're doing in the hours no one sees, if your smile still arrives the same way, soft and unguarded like it used to be. Or if you still wake up already tired from things that you can't forget. I wonder who sees you when you're breaking, who notices when you fade, who holds those parts of you at night. I wonder if your laughter still catches in your throat before it lands, if joy still hesitates around you, unsure of where it stands. And quietly, I wonder this, the question I never say. If you ever miss the way I stayed or the love I gave away. If in small, unguarded moments when the world feels far too loud, you think of me without meaning to, without forgiveness, without doubt. And maybe you're doing better now. Maybe you've learned how to breathe, but the thought I hold on to most is wondering if you ever wonder of me the way I wonder of you.